Cup Winners' Cup. 2, Celtic 1. It's incredible. It's unbelievable. Look at the celebrations there. What a turnaround here this afternoon.
Welcome to Rangers Radio.
What a goal by Steenie, followed that up, and whoop, in it goes.
Why not give the show a call on 01413561972.
Rangers open the scoring. Happy Tawdry. 12 minutes of the match remaining. A stunner from Kenny Miller. Rifles it into the roof of the net.
Or send Fox a friend request on Skype at Rangers Radio Online.
He's gone into the middle. McSwegan's in there too. Will he come for McSwegan? There's his header, and he scores! What a substitution! Running inside, is he going to let flies in? He scores! Good ball! Scores for Rangers!
Nacho Lobo with one kick of the ball to take Rangers to Manchester. Rangers are coming! The Scots are heading for Manchester, and you know what? Manchester may not be big enough.
Remember, it's all about the Rangers.
Well, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the panel this evening is the one and only Bridgeman and Big Ulster. How are we doing, gentlemen? 5 more sleeps, Bridge?
5 more sleeps, my mate. 5 more sleeps. Can I say a big good evening to the guys in the panel and to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans all over the world. I'm a very, very happy Bridgeman tonight. 5 more sleeps, as Ox said. Come on. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hey, good evening,
How we doing, Big Ulster?
Doing very well, thanks.
We're getting nervous, boys. We're getting nervous.
Very much so.
Is it kicked in yet? Not quite there yet for me. Not quite there yet. Still on the solids, if that makes any sense, Ulster.
Yeah, nerves, I know. I think what's making me more nervous this time, to be honest, is I have that belief in me, you know. Other times, maybe the last couple of seasons, you've been sort of half thinking that it's always been in the back of your brain, you know, it could be a bad result for us, but your persona, you come out with, you know, with bravado. But this time I'm actually quietly confident, which is making me even more nervous.
If the Rangers are quiet, Rangers fans are quietly confident, you could just imagine what the Terriers are like. I'll tell you, they'll be going after nothing. They'll be raging at the Rangers fans, if you follow what I mean, you know. They'll be going mental.
I mean, we've went with hope and expectation. Even when we beat them in the semi-final on penalty kicks, we hope, we weren't expecting. We played well that day, but obviously went through in penalty kicks. But let's be really honest about it, we've been behind sofas, looking between our eyes. It's not went well for us, but we know our team's improved, but this will be the marker for how much, Bridgeman.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, we've been stating all along about how the next game's a massive game, the biggest game, and so on and so forth, and they have been, and it's all been leading up to, in all probability, it's all been leading up to this one here. As I said last night, in all honesty, I think this is going to be a massive test for us and for our team. But based on what you see and read in the forums and things like that, the players seem all up for it, and apparently there was roars coming out of their dressing room and things like that, which unfortunately the manager opened his mouth. I don't know whether he meant to or not, but he sort of blurted it out, and that's probably filled the papers with 3 or 4 pages of stuff about Rangers teams sitting in the dressing rooms cheering, or the Rangers fans cheering for a draw and things like that. You know, all the crap that starts, they come out with, all the negative stuff. And I just ask our manager not to feed it, because if you feed them, they'll take it all in and spit it back at you, and it'll be all negative. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to it. And like Ulster, you're quietly confident, and in some cases you think, well, I don't see them beating us, but we've been there before, haven't we? When it just happens, you know, you're going to play them, and all of a sudden you screw something up, and it's the biggest screw up in the world for that moment in time, you know. we need to go there and beat them.
If I'm being really honest, even when we had a good team and we're playing them, I always went with some trepidation.
Absolutely. Well, they would be the same. They would be the same. There's no way they would think that they're going to tan the Rangers all the time. But it was Ichi Pichi. It was kind of level. And during the good years the Rangers had, then they were dreadful. They hated it. But if they got a draw, they were very happy. And they would all steal a draw at the start of the game,
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
But the confidence, what's giving you the confidence, Ulster?
Well, the run of form, first and foremost. I think we have a manager at the minute in place that we believe in, that the team believes in. The quality of player that we have now and the confidence, you can actually see that the team have confidence in each other and they're together. You see them anytime we score goals, or everybody's, they're all high-fiving each other, everybody's getting, and especially when you see that video of Martin's goal and everybody was, we're as one and they were cheering with the supporters. And it's just a really great feeling at the minute that we can get these run of form. I think Bridge has been asking us for 2 years, let's get a run of form together. And for once it's actually happening for it. It's clicking, and it's not just by chance. You can actually see that we're blowing teams away. And if we get a result here on Sunday, that confidence will be sky high.
I agree with you, mate. I agree with you. I just hope we perform, we play well. And I think if we did play well, we win, Bridge. Yeah,
I think we've shown that in many ways. And as I said, this momentum and confidence that's running, if the Rangers score, they'll tend to go on and score again, if you follow. They really are good. And they've got good players who believe in themselves, none more so than our right back and captain at the moment. At the start of this season, I would have gladly, if you follow me, if someone said, would you take some money for him? £1 million and take it away he goes or something like that. And now this guy is playing so well. As I say, I think I said it last night. I think if there's a better right back, certainly in Scotland, maybe down in the Championship in England as well, I don't know. He's absolutely outstanding at the moment. Outstanding. His contribution is nothing short of miraculous for me. Tremendous. And his wee pal up in front of him doing very well. And that's what Celtic are going to watch out for.
Did you see him becoming the captain, mate? I didn't see it. It was sort of a left field for me. And the guy's thrived on it, isn't
he? He's loving every minute. And, I don't know what you guys think. If they can turn in and put a target price or a market price on and their players, then Rangers should be able to do the same thing. Speaking about the same market. After all, the boy did come from England anyway. He's played for top teams, He plays for Newcastle. So he's got a tremendous reputation now. And long may it go. If we beat Celtic on Sunday, then his reputation will be even higher. Same with young Windass. Oh, wow. I think there's something going to explode come the summertime with these guys if they keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's results. Did you see it coming with Tavernier being the confidence streak, the runner for him? He was Marmite for some people, Ulster.
Yeah, he was. That's the truth. And if you go back about a year ago, I'm sure there's shows with me thinking this guy hasn't got it. He isn't good enough. I was probably one of them. But he's stepped it up, and I think you have to give a lot of credit to Mr. Murray for that, because I think players like Windass and Tavernier have definitely become better players since he took the reins. You can see that. Candias has helped him big time as well. But to be fair to Alan, I think Alan called it a few weeks back before Tavernier got the armband that that's who he would like to see having it. And I didn't agree with that point, but I have to say credit to Alan for that, because that's come up trumps, because I think Tavernier, since he's got the armband, he's grabbed the bull by the horns. And that's the problem for us. When we've had captains, we haven't had anybody that can actually lead by example. When other players aren't playing well, you could never look to our captain at times because the captain maybe wasn't playing well, but now we've got a captain there who's playing as good as the rest of the team, if not better at times. So fair play to Tavernier. He's definitely changed my mind this last year.
Yeah, we're quick enough to criticise, so we've got to be fair, Bridgeman.
Absolutely. we've got to be honest with ourselves, more so than anyone else. I'm talking about Rangers fans now, and there's nobody more desperate for Rangers to do well than us on here, for instance. And I haven't got a lobby up there now, so if maybe somebody's slagging me in the lobby, I don't know. But I don't have the lobby up. I do apologise to everyone. But I think there's a lot of guys in the lobby when you speak to them. And
if they're no slagging you, Bridge, or something.
No, if they're no slagging us, yeah. But no, they're really keen. They're just like ourselves in the panel, if not even more fervent. And when I meet them at the wee bistro there and you're talking to them, they're just desperately dying for Rangers to do well. And that's what I want. I want us to do well. And when you get a player like Tavernier, who came 2 years ago, and all of a sudden, within 2 years, he's captain of the club, he's playing out his skin, one of the best players, overall one of the best players in Scotland, a name that everyone knows. All the press know Tavernier. He's not a wee shrinking violet by any stretch of the imagination, but he's a wonderful athlete. He's not a dirty player. He gets on and does his job. But I really and truly, I just admire the guy so much. So maybe I'm going too far, too sugary. Sorry, guys, but I really do think he's a tremendous player for us. What an asset, and we should.
Good runner for him, Brick. He's a good runner for
superb,
him. Yeah.
Absolutely superb, absolutely superb. But I tell you what, the one thing I like about it from 2 years ago when we were in when we were under Mark Warburton when he first came up, he's not taking free kicks. And I think since he moved up to the Premiership, the free kick taking just seemed to nullify his game.
That's strange, because taking a free kick shouldn't matter what league you're in, should it? If
Agreed. I don't know what happened, and I don't know. I don't know what the expectation was from him. Maybe just a really bad fit. I've got no idea. It's very strange. But I've noticed that the less he's involved with these free kicks, the better player he's become. His whole game is brilliant. It's really superb. Really good to watch.
In the Championship, mate, he scored some crackers.
And be everywhere. He played. He ended up in the left wing, and oh my! I think he even headed a goal, for God's sake. Just amazing. But he scored some great free kicks. Wow.
Whether you like it or no, he scored one of the finest goals at Hampden. The opposition wasn't great, and it maybe nobody remembered. But what a goal he scored! That volley he scored, Tavernier.
One of the best goals I've ever seen. I put it down in one of my top 5. In fact, I put it at the top. What a shot! And what a volley from a distance.
I scored one up Thornwood pitches once.
Aye, right.
That was a cracking goal out there.
Thank you very much, Ulster. Have you seen it?
Well, you see, I liked the way he took his free kicks. And there was one against Hibs when they won. I think we won 1-0. It was near the end, and he took a free kick from next to the Govan stand, the Sandy Jarvis stand. And I thought, gospel truth, I'm sitting in the Copeland rear, and I thought, when he hit the ball, I thought, oh no, you've overhit it. And the ball just dipped right on and hit the bottom of the bar and bang, in the net. Oh my God, I went radio rental.
The Hibs keeper was actually fantastic that game. It looked like we could never get a goal, and it took something special, didn't it?
Ulster, I've said this to you before, Ulster, and everybody else, that the amount of players, or goalkeepers rather, who played against Rangers and played out of their skins, and you wonder, how on earth are they? How's that team losing 4 and 5 goals every week? They come to the Rangers, and it's a real battle to get a goal off them, The keeper's absolutely superb, outstanding, incredible. And I'm talking about for the 3rd division up, so we're reading, oh wow.
Anyway, so I think it's obvious to one and sundry that Mr. Bridgeman's excited. He's
very much so. Very much
He's
so.
got a battle fever on Ulster.
They call it desperation.
Yes, he's got the battle fever on. And tell you what, boys like Bridge deserve it, because I would be there myself. Obviously, I don't live in Scotland, but I get over as much as I can. But boys like Bridge, through thick and thin, go into the games, through all the divisions. And people like Bridge and all the Rangers family deserve big nights or big days like that's coming up in the semi-final and everything that we're getting. We're reaping the rewards from our support and loyalty to our club.
It's coming, and if it pans out right, mate, there could be a lot of people scunnered and know us.
You're
but
right.
Just one game at a time, as we've been saying.
Oh, please, one at a time.
Hopefully, win this game, and then I see there's 3 games that we can also go and win. That's Kilmarnock, Motherwell away, and then Dundee at Ibrox. There's no reason why we can't go and win the games and really build momentum. Anyway, one game at a time. So if people want to join us, it'd be great to hear for first-time callers, Bridge, on their thoughts on the up-and-coming game or what their thoughts are on the Old Firm game. Some people hate them. I mean, I know Boswell's not a fan. Some people thrive on them. Some people are nervous wrecks. Me, I struggle with them, watching them. I really get nervous, throw up and all sorts. But everybody's different in their games. So it'd be great to hear for first-time callers. What's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Where else can they join us, Ulster?
RangersRadio.online, and you'll find a wee link on Skype, and you'll get into us through that way.
And you can talk about anything Rangers, particular Old Firm memories, your thoughts on the game, how you think the team will line up. And it'd be great to hear for first-time callers. Anyway, we'll be joined by the Fox. Evening, Fox.
Good evening, guys.
How are you, mate?
Hi, Fox.
Aye, good, mate, good.
In a better mood than you were last night, Fox?
Oh, mate, it was terrible, wasn't he?
Oh, shocking. Just shocking.
I'm always in a good mood. It's you that just don't understand me.
Well, we'll see on Saturday how you are.
When are you coming up, by the way?
Oh, never miss Mother's Day, you know that.
Of course.
Anyway, you were talking about James Taverner and how he's played this season, mate. I think it's been a good choice with Graham Murty. Well, Lee Wallace has been out, mate. We've passed the armband about quite a few players. Holt's had it. I think Alves has had it. And a few others have had one-off things, mate. But I think it's settled him down, mate. It's made him, for me, Murray a team player. He's third behind Morelos and Windus in goals for a right back. I think he scored 6 times or 7 times this season. He's second in the assists as well, just one behind Candias. And it shows to me that the guy's maturing as a footballer, mate. I think he's just going to keep improving. For me, he's the best fullback in Scotland at this present time. And I hope he carry. I think he should be player of the year in Scotland, by the way.
Tav?
Yes.
All right, okay. All right. Well, listen, this is, I mean, obviously a lot of these voting for these things are done, but this is the, as Fergie called it, this is the squeaky bum time of the season. If you go on a run now, as we've said, if we can win all our games now, we could win the double. Bridgeman. Unbelievable, eh?
Well, here we are. Absolutely no. That's what we're saying. We've seen this. We've thought about it. But you're right. Given the some of the stupid, I mean, really, really dreadful results that we had, if you take even a point out of that, you'd make a big difference in your game. A big difference in your points. Tremendous. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Roxy. Sorry.
It's all right, mate. Not at all. Listen, we've also been joined by young Mount Vernon. How are we doing, Mount?
Evening, gentlemen. How you doing? All right?
Hi, mate.
Big man.
Well, he, Bridge and Ulster are gentlemen.
I know Fox very well. He's a gentleman too, mate. He's a gentleman too.
You're a sook.
No. Big Rangers family. Hey, that Bridgeman's got the battle fever on next year.
Well, just a bit, mate. It's like a bit. It's on the trill, isn't he?
Many sleeps. I know, many sleeps. I mean, is it 5 sleeps I've got still?
Well, 3.5 for Bridge, I think, the way he's pacing up.
Better make sure we get a good war tune on for the Bridgeman, especially the T3.
I'll build it up slowly, mate. Build it up slowly. By Friday night, he'll know his intro will last for an hour. So we never heard to you for Sunday's game, mate.
Yeah.
Pretty professional performance. You glad to see Jason Cummings getting a hat trick?
Definitely. It's great. Not a good performance, guys. I think Jason Cummings was his first 2 goals were absolute quality. His third was a right good sort of striker's goal. You know, sort of following up any sort of mishaps with the goalkeeper. But no, just a thoroughly very, very professional performance. And I think the crucial thing was that we get to do it the cup tie, and it was an interesting draw as well, I thought.
Yeah, mate. If you're going to win it, you might as well win it in style. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Going to have to play them sometime. I think we've got 9 league games, potentially 2 cup games left. That's 11 games, and we play them 3 times, mate. Could be historic. And Graham Murray could be really, really. It could go both ways for him, couldn't it?
Yeah, and I think it's I think the boys on here, maybe except Bridgman, I think he's sort of wanting to batter them the 3 times, but I think everybody on here realises it's a game at a time next year, and it's about getting the attitude correct for Sunday's game, making sure we apply ourselves properly and take the momentum the last 6 games into Sunday's game. It's going to be a great occasion for full Ibrox. So we've just got to get there and show what we're all about, and hopefully some of the injury concerns that we've got ahead of the game can make it. Declan, John and Jamie Murphy, I think it would give us good balance. I thought gave some of the boys analysis of the game against Falkirk. I thought we were a wee bit lopsided a wee bit with Taverner and Candias. Never really had that much actual width with Cummings on the wing, but again, we're nitpicking at a 4-1 victory. But no, it's exciting times, but one game at a time, guys. One game at a time.
Did you get a good view of the Bates incident?
I seen it myself. I actually did see it. I don't know why I was looking where I was looking, but I did see it. I mean, it wasn't great, was it? It was just call it as you see it. It was a punch. You know what I mean? To his midriff.
It doesn't really matter if it's a punch or a slap. It's still violent contact.
I think it's the same as well with the shooting we had on Tuesday, last Tuesday as well.
Still kicked to him. It's still violent conduct, mate.
I think I tend to agree sometimes that we maybe get refereed to a different standard. But again, I don't want to sound like one of them. You know what I mean? I really don't. But some of the decisions again on Craig Thompson was just laughable again on Sunday. Some of the decisions, some of the tackles the Falkirk players were making as well was just
shocking.
Aye. Oh, yourself, Bridgman.
Oh, shocking.
Shocking. But it's one of the ones. I think it's. I just hope the referees stays out the limelight this time. For Sunday's game. But I just think generally speaking, the refereeing standard is no great with the decisions.
That team Falkirk. Forgive me for interrupting, guys. That team Falkirk are quite low down in their league, and you wonder why. When they can play they've played some nice tidy football against us, and their tackling was sometimes ferocious, but they're over the ball and leaving their foot in that kind of thing was going on constantly, and that boy running up and just battering Bates in the nether region is just shocking, and for the referee to see it and then book him is just tantamount to cheating. That is no right. The laws of the land say if you do that, you either get the jail or you get a red card. You can't just book him and say, "Oh, by the way, son, what's the difference between a red card and a yellow card there? I don't understand that."
When he sees it, and the same as the guy in the St Johnstone game, when the referee gives a yellow card, if he doesn't get in, he doesn't see it. But when he sees he's seen it, they've got him right for me. Fox.
Yep.
Well, the laws of the land. If you put your hand even just on the top of a policeman's shoulder, mate, it's assault. That was an act to, suppose, distract him, but it was still an act that was against the rules of the game, mate, and he should have got a red card. I don't know what the referee was thinking about that. I think if a Rangers player had done it, I think he'd have walked, mate. That's my honest opinion.
Can I come in on this? I'm really up for this tonight. See this stuff here. The reason I'm saying that was cheating is because he booked that guy. He didn't want to send him off because in his mind he probably spoiled the game. Yeah, he took it upon himself to do that and cheated. And the same thing with cheating beating against the Hibs. When Stokesy jumped on Tavernier's back from behind, That's a red card in anybody's language, any country, in any countries in the world. Red card, no problem. He only booked Tavernier and Stokes, which meant with the compliance officer, if he ever looked at it again, he wouldn't be able to do anything anyway. You know what I mean? A yellow card you can't appeal unless it's I don't know, I can't remember what it was, kicking the ball away or something daft like, you know. And really, that's what I mean by cheating in that sense. He knows that he thinks it's an offence and he goes and books a guy. What's he booking him for? You're booking him for hitting a boy in the nether regions. Well, you can't do that. That's a red card. What, they've done it.
We'll call it the Henrys, make it easy for you, yeah?
Okay, you know what I mean. The Henry Halls, okay then.
No,
but it's really... I do apologise, I'm wound up now.
Yeah. Ulster, I mean, I think sometimes everybody get different opinions on the referees. I tend to go about. I just think sometimes they're stinking, and the good ones you shouldn't see. But the two decisions, I mean, I don't understand them, mate.
Yeah, this is it. I don't really go on with referees themselves too much because I just think they're a poor standard and they're going to make mistakes. That's just the way it is. They're just not a great standard. I don't even think they're full time, but there's a difference between maybe not being in the right position to see something and then actually being in the position to see someone and acting on it and giving the yellow card. That was a straight red card. You cannot get your fist and punch it in the hand. It doesn't matter where it is, whether it's down low, in the head, on the shoulder. You can't clench your fist and punch another player, and that's what happened. The referee seen what happened. He gives the yellow card. So two things from that I think should be happening. Number one, I think Mr. Murray, who I don't really give him stick for not calling out referees, but in this one I think he really should have. Probably been best to make a statement out of that and tell them why is we not getting protection, why was the red card not given. And number two, the people that run the Scottish referees need to look at that decision and demote that referee for a few games, because I cannot, and they need to ask them the question, if you've seen the incident, why have you only given the yellow card?
Exactly.
Could I just
by the way, did Mr. Murty get a phone call from the Referees Association?
I would doubt that very much. Let Mount come in, mate.
I think the big man raises a great point, guys, and I think we've seen it this season so far from the Beast for the Race, that what they're trying to do is control the narrative of the referees. Now we've seen earlier on in the season, Brendan Rodgers I think it was the Ross County game, where the referee had apologised on the Monday after the game. What Celtic tend to do is try to control the narrative with certain comments in the media about certain decisions and certain, how referees how the game is refereed. I think we have to certainly do that as well, but I don't think we can totally I don't think it would be proactive or beneficial for a club to come out and absolutely slate these referees, because it's human nature where these referees do get their back up a wee bit. I think what we have to do as a club, maybe again Mr. Murty and others, is that we have to highlight these issues and highlight the fact that why these weren't given the proper officiating. I think the biggest issue I have in terms of the refereeing is that I don't believe there's cheating, but I believe that we are refereed to a different standard. You hear that quite a lot on social media and other platforms, that we're refereed to another standard. I think that is a fact, because a lot of other, if you look at the situation, with Ryan Jack this season, I think it was 2 red cards rescinded, probably should have been 3 red cards rescinded. It really does give a pattern that the referees, I think, are tend to refereeing not necessarily the instant or taking the instant out, just looking at it from an objective point of view, but they're actually refereeing the team Rangers, and it's always more difficult to give a decision for Rangers than it is against Rangers in this country. So I think for that very reason, we are slightly being refereed to a slightly different standard. I don't believe it's cheating, but I believe it is a different way. It's just do you guys know? Do you know what I mean? It's just that we're no refereed to the same standard as maybe say another team type. I think that's just how I see it.
Well, I mean, our games are different. They're more competitive for a start. Teams are up for it. Yeah. Away teams, crowds turn up when they don't turn up for other teams. So there's more competitive matches, better atmosphere, more rivalry because we're the biggest team in the country. So that brings different pressures, people sliding in, getting involved. But what I will say is that I just think some of the referees are poor, mate. I don't want to...
Yeah.
I really do, mate. I think they don't control the games. They seem to get a lot wrong. If it's a bad challenge and it's a sending off in the first minute, it doesn't matter if it's the first minute or the last minute. We go back to the boy, I think it was McLean with a against Livingston. I mean, geez, the guy went out deliberately to try and snap his leg into 100% red card every day of the week. Doesn't matter, first minute, last minute. The rules are the rules.
Do you think it's a case our squad of players, mate, are very intelligent, well-behaved young footballers who don't get in the referees' faces? They accept the decisions and go on with the game. Whereas if you look across the city, they're up in the referee's face with the anger in the face and full of venom, mate. I think that affects referees. And I think when they give decisions against Rangers and we don't have any reaction yet, it just gives them the right to carry on refereeing us the way we do.
Never really thought of it like that, mate. I mean, we have got if you like, we have got a nice squad, didn't we? If that makes any sense. There's there's nobody that's going to harangue the referee, even when Lee Wallace was our captain and Kenny would maybe have a moan. I think Kenny likes moaning, but Tav doesn't come across as that. Jason Holt, they play the game arguably the right way.
Can I just quickly on I seen it the weekend there. I think it was one of the highlight shows. Were saying that I think it was 4 or 5 decisions last weekend there, whether it was cup ties or league or whatever. You know, there was quite a lot of bad decisions being made. I think there was one of the old goals was disallowed. I think it was a dodgy penalty. I think Celtic got a dodgy penalty. You know, there was all different.
Oh, it was outside the box, I mean.
You know, and it's all decisions. I mean, there was one I remember against Falkirk, and it was nearly 2 metres outside the box, and Colin gave a penalty. Do you know what I mean? I agree with you to a certain extent. I just think the referees are just not that good at their job. I really do. You know what I mean? I just think.
Anyway, let's move away from referees. I mean,
we've been joined by Joe Shadow.
Yeah, we've also been joined by Ibrox Loyal. Oh, I'll go to Ibrox first because I've been worried about him.
Why is it me, mate? I'm fine. I'm happy days, mate. Happy days. More wins added on to more wins. That means momentum. Community play this utter unmentionable mob on Sunday, and I hope they give them the scalping that they actually deserve. And I can see it coming.
You like a bit of scalping, didn't you?
Yeah. So, it has been says, but.
How we doing, mate? All right?
Doing well, mate. Doing well. Good to be back on.
You got to give us a wee report later on the
I will do, mate. Yeah, you just
fabulous result, eh?
Yeah, very much so, mate.
Talking about youth, we've been joined by Blue Shadow. How we doing, Blue?
Yes. Hello, mate. What's wrong with you?
I'm not feeling well.
How we going, boys?
All right, mate. You?
Right, before you change the subject, I want to have a go at this referee thing, because I've been
oh dear,
after
right.
having a go about
once he's finished, we'll go to a tune, all right?
No, but seriously, for us, you know, I mean, I've been, as you know, it's one of my pet hates with this is the standard of refereeing in Scotland and how it's going to affect the standard of players that we're able to attract to Scotland if this goes on much longer. It's all very well being nice and everything about it, and I'm not saying that we should follow the lead of other clubs, but the fact is, this latest one that happened on Saturday, there's no argument about it. The guy got booked for it. It's violent conduct. So that if that's violent conduct, that's a straight red card. What the board should be in about the referees board and going, what's this all about? This has happened. And now there's no argument about it. You saw that. Why was that guy not sent off? Because this has happened time and time again, and God knows how many players we've had injured over it.
Yeah, I mean the Kilmarnock game, people see the Motherwell challenge. Who was the other one? There was another sneaky one. The Murphy challenge. Could all have been interpreted differently.
For me,
that's Dorrans, Jack and Murphy all get injured, and I don't think any of the players get booked.
Dorrance one wasn't even a foul.
For me, the worst one was that Jack one, because when you looked at the replay, and the funny one was, they dropped the actual angle that showed the guy had 2 goes at him.
Absolutely. By the way, that same guy's still doing these things now. He's still doing them, getting away with it.
I mean, as far as I understood it, if you gobbed off at a referee, you got booked for it.
Absolutely.
You know, if you had a problem, you went to your captain, and then the captain went to the referee. That's the way I was always brought up. Like, you know,
Shadow and Saturday and Sunday.
I noticed Bridge isn't commenting in that blue.
What's that, gobbing to the referee?
Aye.
Depends who the referee is, of course, doesn't it? it may turn out to be a friend, you know. But you do wait till the party night's gone, and then you with the friends that are referees. I had quite a good couple of friends that were referees. They got some stick when they were got a wee drink in us, you know. Those were the days. But no, I was just going to say that young Greg Docherty was a victim 3 times, and the last one was a shocking tackle. In fact, I don't even know if the guy turned his head away when he went in, so he couldn't even see if he got the ball or not. And right through, and fortunately I don't think he took him fully, but it was only a matter of inches away, and really the referee was getting roundly booed because he was just playing on. And he never saw a foul. He didn't see it as a foul, and all the fans were upset about it. And I was just going to add Greg Docherty's name to the list of the injured, although he didn't get injured, but he could easily have been. And this is differences, the way they treat. I think it was Mount Vernon was saying he thinks that they treat Rangers to a certain standard that other teams do, either a high standard or low standard. I would suggest it's a low standard. But
I'm pleased you mentioned the boy Greg Docherty, Bridge, because I'll tell you why. I was going to bring him up. I think he's going to be really, really important on Sunday. And if he plays with it, he's going to have to play with the heat rather than the heart, because the heart will tell him to go sliding in there. And we've seen it before when people overreact and they get involved, get a card and maybe a straight red because you're caught up in the emotion of the fixture, and maybe there's a certain player in opposition that Macy's would like to go out and have just 5 minutes and maybe put a tackle in. But he's going to have to play with the head, and he's really impressed me. He's get better and better each game in different positions. Quietly does a lot of the dirty work, then gets the ball and he tries to drive forward. Looks a steal, and I'll go to Blue Shadow with this one. Looks a steal, £600,000.
Absolutely, mate. It's just, he's improved every game, and I must be honest, I wasn't sure about it when they said, they were going to go for this guy from Hamilton. I didn't know a lot about him, but since the last 3 games, he's just been fantastic. I don't know if the position that we've got him, he's doing box to box at the minute. As I said before in the previous programme, if we could have McCrory just in, I know we can't because he's no fit, but if we could have McCrory just in front of the back 4 and then have Goss and the young lad Docherty in front of them pushing up into their midfield, it would be pandemonium. They would just have an absolute I don't know what the word for it, but they would just take them apart.
All right, Big Ulster.
Yeah, I agree with that there. I think that's a pity McCrory, because I think McCrory would be a big asset. He loves these kind of games and he thrives in them. But Docherty for 600,000, it seems to be a steal so far. He's played some really, really good football. But I think he's going to be important, because this guy Scott Brown, for too long in firm games, he's pranced about doing what he wants, and sometimes just taking control of the game with nobody really getting in about him. I think Docherty can be the man to get about him and hopefully put him on the back foot. I think he has the quality to do it, to be honest. I think Docherty's going to be pivotal for us to get a result here on Sunday.
You hear, Fox?
When he came into Rangers, mate, I thought he was a player for next season, to be honest with you. I didn't think he would make the impression that he's made since he's come into the side. And it's all been good for the boy. Seems to be very comfortable on ball. Can go past players, a thing that we've been lacking in earlier in the season. Is somebody in the midfield that will go past players our defence, our midfield tended to play the ball backwards quite a lot at the very start of the season, and that's how we weren't successful in the middle. Docherty can turn with a ball and run at defences, as we've seen against Ayr and we've seen against Falkirk at the weekend. I know these teams are championship sides, but he's got the ability to go by players, and he's also got the ability to spot a pass, mate. I didn't think he would make it into the first team for the one reason is we've got more experienced midfielders who are out injured, and we were expecting them back a bit quicker than it's taken to get them to some sort of fitness, mate. That's how I was thinking he was a next year's man. But now I'm beginning to wonder who's going to shove him out the team.
Great point, Fox. Great point.
Absolutely, absolutely. Can I
we'll
come in, Alex?
Go to Bridge, then we'll go to Mount. Then I
just want to agree with Foxy, particularly on the eye for a pass statement. I think he's a fantastic presence and his awareness around about him on the pitch. He really does it. He sees so many angles. He's really good. I've watched him passing 3 or 4 absolutely cracking passes. It's either went for real good chances at goal or actual goals themselves. Really good stuff. Very clever and a really tough guy. Looks after himself. But I think he's been a victim of some bad tackles, and I hope that doesn't continue. I hope he gets a bit smarter and watches what he's doing. But going forward with the ball, creates the space for himself, looks out for everybody else, and as Foxy put it right, he's got a good eye for a pass.
Mount?
Yeah, young Greg's a fantastic player for us. Like, I think the thing, I was slightly like Fox. I thought he would maybe be a player that we could maybe see feature in games like Sunday. You know, where it's maybe no a sort of full strength team that's required. Maybe games like against Hamilton, maybe lesser teams, but slowly developing and a Rangers midfielder and giving the boy the opportunities to bed in and. But I've got to agree with the boys.
Scoring on Sunday, mate. I've got him scoring on Sunday. Don't know why, but I've got him scoring a goal.
As long as it's ending blue and it's going into the Celtic net, I couldn't care less who it was, to be brutally honest with you. But it's no, as I said, I just think the boys got a lot of talent. I think you're right, mate. I think we've got to press their midfield, press them hard. I think young Greg and Sean Goss is very, very talented football players, but I also think when it comes to the crunch as well, I think they can get in about it. But I do agree with you. It's got to be done in a controlled manner. With attitude again. That's what I say about attitude. It's about doing the right things at the right time and keeping the head. Sunday's going to need calm heads, 11 calm heads. Good attitude. And I think young Greg's got the attributes to go on and be a midfield. In our midfield for the next 10 years and potentially maybe a Rangers captain as well. I think the way he speaks as well off the park, I think he's a credit to the club, and it's really good. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I do to the bottom of my heart. When
Jamie Murphy signed and Cummings signed, they were delighted. But I think the Docherty clan turned up. It was just something special about the boys. I think that's been a big factor. True Boy's been banging that drum. And no pun intended.
We need
blue noses in there. Ibrox Loyal.
I don't like you being your last point there, Rox, exactly. He's a really good stock, mate. As I say, I've watched him quite a lot at Hamilton in the last couple of seasons. And I think, obviously when we were linked to the sign with him, he can tackle, has a good tackle on him when he needs to do it. He's a box-to-box midfielder, but every stretch of the imagination, he's got pace. As Rizman was saying, he's got a good eye for a pass, whether that's setting up a goal or going for a goal himself at times. So you could be right in that one next year as well, that he's every opportunity to score on Sunday, and what a moment that would be, not just for him, but for us as fans. And if it's the winner, he's been doing folklore, isn't he? So I'm delighted he's here. Always knew that if he got his chance in the first team, as I says it before the United game, if he stakes his claim in that jersey, he's going to have to do something serious wrong for Jason Holt or whoever else to get back into that midfield. So I'm delighted, not just for him, but for his whole family, mate. So
I think it was George. A few weeks ago said that he bossed the game when we get beat with Hamilton at Ibrox.
He was dynamite.
Well, I tend to, apologies, but I tend not to sometimes watch the opposition players because I get caught up and watch my own. We're looking for things that we're doing sometimes, and you're not watching the game with a neutral eye when we're playing. But George mentioned that he ran the show, and credit to Mark Allen and Graham Murphy for he's been somebody maybe on my radar, and sometimes we sign players or we're signing somebody happen. No glamorous, but potential, attitude. Boy's got a lot for me, and he could turn out to be one of the best signings we've ever made for pound.
100% agree with that. He really looks the part.
And one actually seeing being here in a good number of years' time, do you know that? I think he really wants to get his teeth into our club because he loves it so much that I could see him maybe 2-3 years' time still being an actual mainstay in your team. So I hope I'm right for him as well, because he just loves it, mate. You can see it in his face. You can see it in every single, whether it's a post-match interview or a pre-match interview, mate. You can see that the love for your club on his face. So I'm absolutely delighted for him. So
who deserves the credit, Fox? Graham Murphy, Mark Allen, or the whole staff?
On the signings, mate?
Particularly Greg Docherty.
Oh, Greg Docherty, I think it's been this. Murty has went to Mark Allen. He's asked for a midfield player who has certain attributes, and the boys came to the top of the list, and we've went in for him and got him, mate. That's why I think. I'll tell you another thing I've been thinking about is we have had years and years going back maybe into the 2000s, mate, where we've had money and splashed out willy-nilly. This having no money at the moment is in a different setup with a director of football and a manager, mate. The director of football's putting the players forward. I think we're getting value for money now. I mean, we've seen as with Pedro's summer signings, mate, the money that was squandered for Alexei. I think it was over £1 million for Herrera, mate. Now, no way would Mark Allen have picked a Herrera. For 1.2 million, he could have Jamie Murphy, mate. That's the difference. We're scouting and we're picking up players to play in a position, and that's a big difference to Rangers at this present time. Sometimes it's not a bad thing not to have a lot of money to squander.
Hi, Brooke, seeing that Football Manager, does it tell you which team the players support?
It says I've got a favourite team. I don't think it really says support, but I've got a favourite team and a team they may take, sort of thing. So.
All right, I think somebody's been scaring that for our signings, Mount Vernon.
Oh, definitely, mate. You know, I think Foxy makes a great point. You know, when you look at the quality, you know, we're playing less. Oh.
Let me cut across you, Mount. I think we've been joined by our global ambassador, who's in the middle of building a skyscraper. How we doing, Al?
Not bad, gentlemen. How are you?
All right, mate.
Hi, Al.
Professional radio pundit who's paid for phoning the radio. How we doing, mate? All right? What's on your mind?
Yeehaw. I'm glad you are all starting to get on the bandwagon with this boy Greg Docherty. I've been saying it for weeks. I think maybe you were the only one, Ox. I'll give you credit. You had an inkling that he'd become a player. I think he should have been in the team for the day that we signed the guy, and he would be more up to speed. He'd be going into this game on Sunday a wee bit more under his belt. I don't have any worries for him on Sunday. I'm actually really looking forward to him playing on Sunday, the young boy Docherty and their team. I'm very confident about Sunday, first time for a long time. Is Murphy, what's the injury situation with Murphy?
My understanding is that Jamie Murphy's going to be fit, mate.
Beautiful. And our number one left back, Mr. John, he'll be fine as well.
Available for selection.
I mean, we go into this game with a lot of momentum. The informed team in Scotland, You can look at their team and they can say what they want. There ain't no... I mean, 6 months ago, we maybe would have took a few of their players for the form the players were on and put them and used them in our team. But certainly, I look at their team now. There's no one of their players I would take and put in my team. The defence is shot. The midfield's too old, and the forwards aren't scoring goals. One's injured. The other fella, Coronation Street, he's not kicked a ball a season. So we're the informed team. We're the strong team. We've got the team in momentum. I just hope we carry on.
Coronation Street?
Scott Sinclair. He's perfect.
All right, okay.
Scott Sinclair.
All right.
Sorry, guys. Keep up with the programme.
I thought somebody came a cropper.
Oh, yeah. That's an older one. Just one other thing is Alfred Morelos turning into the Black Martin Waghorn, because on Sunday I thought he looked like Martin Waghorn when he was out on the wing and he was coming in and missing chances.
Sorry, Al, I missed that. Who?
Is Alfredo Morelos, El Buffalo, turning into the Black Martin Waghorn?
No, mate, no, mate.
Why did he miss so many chances?
He likes a wee bit of poise sometimes, and I think sometimes when he misses one, it's affecting him for the second and third chances, you know. I think they'll be working on that. They'll be working on his mental ability. Mm-hmm. I know that people say he's 2021, but he's still learning the game. New country, new language, all the stuff that goes with it, and new culture. They might move again, but somebody's typing. Go on mute, please. Can we look at... He's getting in the positions, and if he starts scoring them, I think he's a confidence player for me, and I'll take that round the panel before we go for a tune. You've asked. Morelos is finishing.
No worries, guys. Just keep up the good show. Keep up the good show. I've got a skyscraper to build.
All right, mate. Get it finished for tomorrow, yeah?
I'll get it done for tomorrow.
Can I ask him something quickly, just before he goes?
On you go, mate.
Just quickly, Al. I know you're a wee bit dubious, obviously, about the manager, and I suppose rightly so sometimes, but are you any more confident in Mr. Murray at the minute, or do you still like to see us change?
A little bit. I'd say I was 30% confident in him a couple of weeks ago. I'd say I'm 42%. So I'm
We're that comfy. We're that comfy.
What's that? Well, remember me and Rudy had a wee talk with...
How'd you want that one at 42%?
See, that's like the university.
I brought, so you can work that out. The percentage of the percentage that have went up. A wee bit more confident in him.
Cheers, Al. Thanks for answering.
We'll wait and see.
Cheers, Al.
No, you take care, man. All the best. No worries. All the best. Thanks very much.
All right. I think we discussed it a wee bit last night, but we'll take it on the panel. Start with Blue Shadow. Morelos, for me, is a confidence player. Gets the first goal, he might score the other one or two, and it affects him. Hopefully, he'll learn from it, Blue.
I think, yes, there's no doubt about it. Part of it's confidence and all the rest of it. But the other thing, which he certainly used to be guilty for, was he's always tried to leather it one. You know, rather than just, sometimes you can get away with just stroking the ball and you get a bit more control after it. He's always tried to burst the back of the net with it. And sometimes the fact is, you don't always need to do that as a striker. So I think it's something as well that's affected by the confidence, and if he gets a bit more confidence, he'll maybe just try and just take a little bit off it, and he'll get the goal. So
you don't hit the target, you'll never score. Doesn't matter how hard you hit it.
That's absolutely, mate. It's a sort of, if I tried to hit it as hard as I could, there's a 50-50 chance of it hitting the target. So when I place it, I've got a 75-80% chance of hitting the target. So.
Hi, Brooks. You're a fan.
I'm not a fan, mate, but I wasn't that overly impressed on Sunday at all, mate. Not just with the.
I didn't have a good game. I'm not trying to say he did.
No. But if he's not the right place to have the shots or trying to create something for the place that he's in, then I start getting worried. I see him coming back now. I says it before the St Johnstone game, because the game before the St Johnstone game, Windass and Morales didn't score. I can see it maybe turning around on Sunday, and as you says, if Greg Docherty's going to score, then I'm going to go for Windass and Morales to score on Sunday as well. Because I just feel that the chances that he missed, he's not going to let that affect him. He's going to be back in the same positions again. With the chances that we create on Sunday, I see us getting a few goals. So.
All right, mate. We'll take us through the panel before the tune, so be brief. Bridgeman.
I pointed out there was maybe 4, possibly even 5. He maybe had about 6 or 7 really good chances, to be perfectly honest, some shots at goal, but getting on one-on-one with the goalkeeper a number of times. I'm disappointed he's not putting them away. Big Al's got a point, because that's what's a similar thing was happening to Waghorn, wasn't it? Running into the goalkeeper and not getting past him. But I think if those 3 or 4 chances had fallen to Cummins, he'd probably scored 2 of them, if not all of them. But I think Cummins is maybe better going out doing the fancy stuff, one-to-one stuff. I think he's better that way. Whereas, Morelos he's got a tremendous shot on him, and if he can get it and be all right on target, it'll whiz in. Just that. Other than that, I think he's a wonderful player.
Fox.
If we look at the so-called sitters in the game at the weekend, mate, he went through once, hit the ball on target, and it was a good save by the goalkeeper, by the way. Now, if Wes Fotheringham had done that at the other end, we'd all be raving about a brilliant save Wes made. His second one, when he tried to go round the keeper, showed he was trying to vary his options. Again, the keeper got a hand to it. I think he'll learn for that and maybe push the ball a bit quicker when the keeper comes out. I think he's learned quite a lot. He used to be offside a lot, as everybody will remember. He's managed to learn how to not be caught out all the time, and it's that learning that's given him these chances. Twice he broke the offside, that he got himself away from the defence and ran through on the goalkeeper, whereas earlier in the season, mate, he'd have been offside, I think, because he wasn't concentrating on his game. What I'll say about Morelos, he does miss sitters, but they're usually on target, mate. Keeper, and his third attempt was another strong shot. The keeper couldn't hold it, and Jason Cummins stuck it in.
Mount Vernon?
I think the boys different beans for me. His build-up play, his support play is fantastic. I think we need to remember, guys, he's only 21, I believe, and that's, he's still got a long way to learn. I think potentially, if he can improve on his finishing, potentially a £20-25 million player there for us. And he's only going to improve under the tutelage of San Martin, the backroom staff. And I think for me, guys, he's learning every week, and I always tend to think.
Mate, fair enough, mate. We'll shadow then Ulster briefly before we go to a tune, unless Ulster wants to sign one. See Fox put one on. We'll shadow.
I'm sorry, but it doesn't wash for me this. So he's only 21 or something. He's less than a year younger than Jason Cummings. If you're looking at people like Rashford down south and all the rest of it, they're 18, 19 and they were doing this sort of thing. The worst one for me was the one that missed for me was the one Cummings tucked away, because the keeper was already diving to the right-hand side, which was quite easy. If he just opened his body, he could have side-footed it into the other side of the net, which is what Cummings would have done. So I think
it's that easy when you're sitting watching the telly, isn't it?
That's why they're a professional footballer, mate, and I'm not.
It is an easy game, isn't it, when you're watching the telly?
You're saying that Jason Cummings wouldn't do that?
He's potentially got attributes in his game that Alfredo's no got, and vice versa, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely, mate.
Yeah.
To me, they're totally different players.
For
me, Morelos is almost like a centre forward, and Cummings is a poacher. He's a predator. He's the man you're expecting 30 goals plus a season out of. Morelos, 15 to 20 on a normal season if he's playing up front in a 2 for me.
Last word quickly to Big Ulster before we go to a tune.
Yeah, I think Morales is a good player. I get the point what you're saying there about Cummings and his finish. I think Cummings' finishing is fantastic. We've seen it to our detriment a few times that he's a great finisher, especially under pressure. He can pass the ball in. I think Morales, the points he's made is fair. Sometimes he's that desperate to score. He lashes the ball instead of just being calm, taking that extra maybe half a second and looking to place it. But I think there's more to come from him. He's not just a goal scorer. His all-round play is very, very good. But this is one of these things, guys. The good thing for us is now we've got someone like Cummings who's sitting on the bench ready to take his place. So that's an option we haven't had for a wee while.
All right, if you don't mind going to mute, we'll have a tune for your Fox. I don't mean him personally, but we'll put a record on it. Go back.
Yep.
Yep.
Very relaxed for your duty. There's some bullying going on that dance floor bridge.
Good stuff, innit? Good stuff.
Yeah, somebody going in.
Right. Sky Bet are offering for Windass to score first goal and Rangers to win 3-1, 190 to 1.
Is that 3-1, did you say? Correct score?
Worth a quid, isn't it?
Go on, put a fiver on it, I'll give you Sunday.
A lot of folk think we're going to do well. A lot of folk.
I hope it's not. I hope we don't come down with a mighty crash.
Well, I think if we put our thinking caps on and sort of take our mind back the 3 or 4 months when we played them at the Airmidden, I thought we put a tremendous performance in. and you march on 4 months for there, and you see the type of players that were signed. So hopefully we're able to make 2 and 2 become 4 instead of falling short. So based on what I see, we've got good players, some of the same players that were there the last time, but we've added to it. And if the likes of Jamie Murphy can make it, and young Greg and Goss, my goodness gracious, they're a big improvement on what we had before. Not saying that what we had before was bad, but they're a big improvement quality-wise. So I'm quite content that way. If we play well, then we'll put a really good fight with them. I think we've just got to watch it for the physical side, because I think they're going to be very physical.
If we win on Sunday, mate, the momentum's with us, and that's bizarre. I didn't see that coming.
Wow. Wow.
I'm going to ask Fox. I know that I don't value your opinion, Bridge, but
I don't blame you.
I gave you my opinion today, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Fox, how much credit for this run, this momentum? How much credit should be played at the feet of Graham Murray?
I think all the credit goes to Graham Murray, mate.
None to me?
No, nothing to you, mate. I don't give you any credit whatsoever.
Fair enough.
I think he's developed a style. I mean, it's no as if we didn't used to play different styles, mate, but 4-4-2 seems to me a bit outdated now. We find problems when we go 4-4-2, and I think that the problem for us on Sunday is going to be the midfield, mate. Will Goss and Docherty can they outplay the 2 Celtic midfielders who'll probably be Mitchum and possibly Rogic or McGregor, mate? I think that's going to be a big bit of the game will be won and lost.
They'll have Brown in there beside them.
No, that's wrong, mate. Brown will be playing at defensive midfielder as he always did.
Aye, but he was there to support the 2. We need to get somebody in his space.
But the point about the 2 that our 2 are facing, mate, Mitchum's a bit, I've watched him, he's a reasonable player. I wouldn't say he was a good player, but he's not as effective, I don't think, as McGregor, mate, in creating chances and movement. I really do. You were asking earlier on if I would pick one player to come into our side. It would probably be Rogic, mate. I really like that Australian boy. He's not a dirty player, he's very skillful, and a man that can pick out a pass and hit a good shot on the run, mate. I think he'll
takes a lovely penalty as well. Takes a lovely penalty.
I think if we gave him too much room, mate, he could cause us a couple of problems. I think Brendan Rodgers' big dilemma is, mate, is the wings. Does he go 3 at the back and have 2 defensive midfielders in Tierney and Forrest? If he does that, mate, and we play with 4-2-3-1, I think they'll have problems doing the wing. I think Candias and Tavernier showed in the Old Firm game at the New Year, mate, that they can control Tierney and make him very ineffective. And I think the same could be done with wee James and Ainek as well on the other side. If we go 2-1 against them, I think that's where we'll win the game, mate.
All right. So you're giving the 4-2-3-1 credit to Graham Murray?
I'm indeed, mate.
All right. Who wasn't sure? Blue Shadow, I don't know if you were really sure if he was a man for the job. So how much credit for this momentum should be given to Graham Murray for you?
I think it all really comes down to is who was responsible for signing the 4 players at the New Year. How much input did, and that's a question that obviously we can't answer, is, how much input did he have on that? A lot of people think it's Mark Allen, just Mark Allen. Some people think that Murray had an input upon that. And I think the impact that those 4 players have had on the side has a pretty major bearing on the difference in the change in fortune of the side over the past few weeks. There's no doubt, though, that some of the some of it's got to go down to Mr. Murty. You mean, you can't say he hasn't done anything. He has. Whether or not he's still the man to take over at the end of the year, I think I'll wait till the end of the year and then I'll make the decision then.
Okay, all right. Look, I think it's only fair that we're maybe here thinking of Monty, because he might give us an update on how things have gone, injuries, etc. So if you don't mind going on mute, lads, let's hear from.
How are you feeling this morning? Have you been up all night worrying about your team selection for the weekend now?
No, I've been worrying about it at all. I've been up all night because that's just my thing. I watched the game back, had a look at a few different things, a few things that were concerning me, a few things that were annoying me, but I haven't actually looked forward to the weekend. I'm sure that I'll have a few people knocking on my door saying that they want to be involved, and Jason Cummins will probably be at the front of that queue.
What's concerning you? What's annoying you?
I thought we were slack at times. I didn't think we pressed the ball well enough. I didn't think our out of possession stuff was good enough at times. I thought that their restarts, they had too easy from the goalkeeper, from throw-ins, from free kicks. We switched off and allowed them to play, and I know if we do that at the weekend, we'll be playing against a higher calibre of opposition, and we won't necessarily get away with what we got away with yesterday. But I know that the reassuring thing for me is that we can get better from winning 4-1, which is a good thing to say. I've said it the whole way through. We're about getting better and improving, and I think there's real areas to gain improvement from yesterday.
You say you haven't looked ahead to the weekend yet. Do you have any idea what team you're going to pick yet? You don't need to tell us it, but...
Yeah, they'll be in blue. That's about it. Not really. I'm quite relaxed regarding the weekend. I've got a game arranged here at the training ground for those guys who haven't necessarily had many match minutes recently, which is good for us. So we'll get a game in there, making sure everyone gets through that okay. But people have been desperate to get on the pitch. People are desperate to go and impress. And I think that this game coming up is the game that everyone wants to be involved in. So I've got no doubts whoever put on the pitch is going to be motivated and ready to go. It's just making sure we get the blend right.
Could Lee Wallace feature in that game tomorrow?
Yes, definitely.
Could he feature at the weekend if he gets through this?
We'll see. We'll see how he goes through, because I know what it's like after being out for a long term. You come back in and you feel good and you train really well, and it's completely different in a match. Sometimes you run around and you feel as though you've got lungs that are a quarter of the size that they used to be, just because you're not used to the stimulus of a match day. You're not used to the intensity of it. Let's not forget that his heart rate, and all the players' heart rates, will be at 75% of their max for 90 minutes. And it's really hard to replicate that, no matter how hard you train, because we can't actually get that stimulus into every single player. Lee needs something specifically different to the rest of the players who've been training for that time when he's been out and having that stimulus at the end of the week. He hasn't been having that, but this is our way to try and introduce that to him and make sure that he comes through it okay. So we'll judge it after the game, and we'll make sure that he plays, we recover him properly, and then we see how he's feeling after that.
The fact that there is going to be so much talk about your team selection this week, is that actually quite positive for you, because you're at the stage where there is so many players battling for places and so many players in form? Well,
the competition for places is, I think, something that this team has been built upon in the past. I look at the great squads that have won things here, and you know, or you knew, that if you weren't playing well, or if the manager wanted to change it for a tactical reason, then he could go and change it, and the person coming in would be right at the top of their game. We want that here. We want that level of competition. We want people striving and pushing to get in the team. But the positive thing for me is I've got people bringing energy. I've got people bringing positive energy to the group. And that's what I've challenged them to do. And it's really boring, and I keep on saying it, that the people who aren't playing possibly have a harder job than the guys that are. Because the guys that are happy, they're playing every week, they're in front of a massive crowd, they might have some bonus in their contract, whatever. Those guys that aren't sometimes train for a long time without that stimulus and that fix, almost, if you want, of a game. So we have to make sure we manage their mentality and their psyche really well, so that when they are called upon, they're ready to go and they're ready to be flat out.
In recent weeks, it's the attacking side of your game that's really been impressing people. Would we be right in thinking that you want to stick to those principles going into Sunday's Old Firm?
I think we've got people, and attacking people, that can cause teams problems. You look at the pace and power that we now have in those areas, and regardless of our opposition, I think we can cause a threat. So we know we have to be better without the ball. We know we have to be tighter and more compact. But with the ball, we need to go and express ourselves, and I think that's something we've done really, really well recently. We've created opportunities with people expressing themselves, but we're getting to the sharp end of the pitch and looking like scoring goals, where we weren't necessarily looking like that earlier in the season. Albeit we managed to get goals, we look as though we've got goals coming from different angles now. I just think that that's a good place to be in, because we know we're going to have to be really, really, really good in all aspects of the game. And if we do get a chance, it's really important that we take it.
Jason Cummings will make the headlines, but Alfredo Morelos cut a very frustrated figure when he came off. Does that actually make you happy that he's that angry as such when he's not scoring?
A centre forward. Centre forwards who don't score aren't happy animals. They're just not. And he's had some good opportunities, but I've always said that he's going to miss chances because he keeps on getting in there. We're going to create him chances. We just need to get his ratio up. I've said that before. I've said that when he was scoring, we can get his ratio up. We can make him sharper. We can help him get more clinical. But I think that the frustration in him is that he's just desperate to score and desperate to do well, which is a good thing for me. I don't think there's anything wrong with a centre forward possibly going into a big game with a bit of a chip on his shoulder and a bit of a point to prove.
What do you do this week with him to kind of get that confidence?
Stick him in front of a goal. Stick him in front of a goal and let him batter the goalies. I'm sure the goalies will be delighted to hear that. But just give him that opportunity to get that out of his head and free his mind up, so that if he's faced with a one-on-one, he's confident and he's bright and he goes and sticks it away. And also, similarly, that he doesn't get frustrated if someone doesn't lay him in, if someone doesn't pass him the chance. He just keeps on going and he remains positive in his movement, he remains positive in his mindset. I think that's an important part, and that's something that we have to remember. He's still only young, he's still just learning, and he's still got lots of improvement to do, and he's still at the top end of the scoring charts, albeit he could be further ahead by now.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. Well back, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Doing what he's grown in me. I think there's no waffle for him. I think sometimes one of his greatest strengths could be one of his weaknesses. How transparent and honest he is. Bridgeman.
Yeah, unbelievable. I think from we did a wee straw poll in the lobby and among ourselves not that long ago, and we all said no, he wouldn't get the job. But my goodness gracious, within a couple of months, the guys were warming to him. Nearly everybody is. And what a difference on the pitch. It's just quite incredible. Admittedly, it's back to the same statement we've been saying. Put some quality into the team and the rest of the players will come for it. And that quality breeds a bit of confidence and so on and so forth. And the whole lot just comes into it. And you get better performances all round. And that's what we're getting. Well done, Mr. Murty. Hats off to you.
We've also been joined by Alan 63, evening out.
Oh, evening, guys. Caught me in the hot there.
What's on your mind, mate?
I enjoyed that interview. I thought that interview was good. I'm just kind of calling up about what we're talking about in the lobby and who'll make it, who'll not make it, etc. And
it's going to be a long week, Al. It's going to be a long week.
Seemingly there's a rumour going about, Mr. Blues told me, that Murphy and DJ will, there's a good chance they'll both make it. I reckon if that's the case, I think Celtic's going to be kind of panicking. That's my take on it anyway. And Brenda, I don't know what Brenda will be doing, but Ann Summers might be visited.
You never know. It'll be interesting to see where we line up. I'm sure we'll debate that as the week goes on, Al. And I'm sure you'll put one team with one formation in the lobby, and you'll change it and put another team in.
I'll do a couple, cover my bases.
Aye. And then say I predicted that.
Oh, aye. That's what you did.
I wouldn't do anything like that, me. So, Mr. Murty, Ulster, he seems to know the problems with the team. He's shown that he wasn't happy on Sunday, but 1-4-1, he's not happy.
This is it. He wants the best. He knows it can be better. I think that's, especially when you're coming into a big game like Sunday here, he'd probably get a wee bit agitated with things that maybe didn't do as good, which might punish us on Sunday if we don't do it good. I think that's what he's probably looking for, and that's what all managers do. And you asked the question there just before the interview, do you give him credit? I think you have to give him credit, because if you turn it the other way around, if we lost 2 or 3 games in a row, the first person who's going to carry the can on from us on here or any Rangers supporter is the manager. So when you're doing well, I think it's only fair to give him the credit. I think he's done very, very well so far. I think Mark Allen's done a good job as well. I think it's a good partnership, and I hope it's something to see going forward, because I think we could see on the pitch a Rangers side that we haven't seen in a long time, and a team we've been striving for, and that's a team that wins week in, week out.
Yes, yeah. Blue Shadow.
Yes, mate.
Mr. Murty, is it? He seems to know where the faults are. He seems to know that we didn't play particularly well on Sunday, even though we won quite comfortable in the end. Is he growing? Is he growing? Is he learning? Is he becoming more confident, or is it a combination of a lot of things as he's learning on the job?
I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I think he is learning, as was shown by him pulling off I think it was Windass and Candeas at the weekend to give them just that bit extra time and make sure they didn't get injured. He's thinking ahead a bit more. But as I said, I can't remember, it was a few days ago, that it's not just Mr. Murty. I think, as Ulster stated there, it's a team effort. And I don't think it's just the director of football either. I think a lot of the other people are coming into this as well. And the whole thing's just meshing together. And I think that the trick will be, if we don't go for Mr. Murty, who are we going to go for? Because he's got to fit into a huge team now.
That'll be interesting to see how it pans out. Mount Vernon, and then we'll go to Fox.
I think we can all see the development Mr. Murty's making. I think the improvements of the team has been fantastic. I think he's learning as a coach as well. I think the key test for him is going to be the big matches coming up. Maybe Sunday's match, and perhaps the matches at Parkhead and Hampden. They're going to be the key test. I think it's to see if we can get a side. I think he's got the tools to beat a team. That team. I think we can all agree that we've got threats and all around the park. So it's but Mr. Murty put a team on the park with a strategy to combat their strengths and to exploit their weaknesses. That's his job. And hopefully we can see that. I think that's a big test for him. I think the big test.
You impressed how he said we didn't play brilliant on Sunday, and he's away looking for continuous improvement. You impressed at that?
Absolutely, mate. It's, I think we've got to, and I think in any business or any sporting environment, I think the pursuit of perfection is never a bad thing. I think I like the fact that he had a wee bit of criticism for Cummings after his stay goals. I think he's very, very intelligent, Mr. Murty. I feel. I think he gets it as well. I think he gets when he needs to be, praising players. I think he gets it when he needs to sort of bring players back down to the ground. And I think it's, I think the pursuit of perfection can only be a good thing, because in our club, every game, we believe we should win.
Aye, thanks, mate. Fox, then Bridge.
I've always liked Graham Murty, and you know that, mate. Even in his first spell, I thought.
Yeah, you've been continuous in your praise, mate.
That he should get a run at it.
I'm like that with Kenny Miller.
Yeah. I think the big difference in how he's learning on the job, mate. The acquisitions we got in January have really strengthened the team, mate. And I think that the real sign will come on Sunday, mate, if we happen to go behind. Will he have the ability to change the game? We might be looking at a bench with players like Kenny Miller, Alves, Jason Holt, Lee Wallace, and one or two others, mate, sitting on the bench, never mind out in the park. We do have options now if most of these players are fit, and that's no including Dorns and Jack and that are still to come back for serious injury, mate. We've got a good all-round squad, but as I say, the Rangers support will judge them on Sunday's result. Whether it'll be a fair judgment or no, we'll need to wait and see.
Bridgeman, last word on it.
I do tend to agree with what Fox says, except that last bit there, whether it be a fair judgment. I don't know what the expectation is for the fans, from the fans. and with the fans. I think with the fans are just desperate for us Rangers to do well, and they've certainly been doing well. The momentum is building, so the fans are flowing and everything good, all the good vibes. I just hope that those good vibes continue. And if indeed we don't make the mark against Celtic, then we have to be able to pick up the swords and go again. That's what we need to do. We need to have a squad that can do that, and just get that, put that out of your mind to go for the next one, and so on and so forth. Because we've got 3 games against them between now and the end of the season, and we've got to make our mark on one of them. We have to do it. Preferably this one. It's at home. We've played quite well. I've come back from some disasters. We're playing quite well, and touch wood, the guys that we want back, the likes of Jamie Murphy and Declan John, and maybe some of the guys might even want Wallace back in. So there's a bit of preference for selection there. But hopefully we got all the ones back that we want back, and they're all available for playing and can play and do play. And when they do, they get right into them and beat them. That's what we want.
Here. Anybody else got any other comments on Mr. Murphy's interview?
What a waffle, Bridgeman. Flipping it, man.
Oh, he's excited.
I don't have. He's guilty fit and playing.
You don't like it, pal, no? You don't like it?
Really. No.
That's good. Well, let's hear yours then. I'll give my comments on yours.
There's a few of them I don't like. Wait, do you mean that for real? The guy Dorns came to us. I don't know how fit he was when he came to us, but he was rotten. The guy Jack looked good in an Aberdeen shirt. I've still to see him play good in a Rangers shirt. Who else did you mention?
He was your best player.
Yes, indeed. What I've said is different people's preferences.
I know that.
And I hope they all get what they want.
I hope they all get fit. Give the manager a proper headache. You're playing right.
You're always going to have injuries and suspensions. It's part of the game, isn't it?
Yeah. I know what they're going to do, and probably the papers, and I don't know, maybe even the media, because they said the right on that STV News that Jinx, what do you call her? Heard it's all full of Brendan. The Bridgeman was telling us Celtic. She's on the morrow.
Sheila.
That's her. She's on the morrow. Brendan. What's his name? Oh, the coloured fella. He was on the right. Said she was on the morrow. So I imagine Ramon's Breeks. So she'll just talk about them tomorrow, I'd imagine. So, taking it from the media point of view, they're all against us anyway. So, when it comes to Mr. Murphy, and Mr. Murphy comes out and says this, that, and the next thing, I'm going to back him all the way. Why not? Mr. Murphy for the Rangers job. And I think we'll pump them come Sunday. I would love to see the young fella playing more than Murphy, much as I love Murphy. I think that wee guy, Declan John, for left back, he's a must. It's a must in my eyes. We can't play Halliday because he's rotten. We can't play Wallace because he's rotten, in my opinion. And he'll not be anywhere near match fit. Halliday's no match fit, but he was better that game there than he was the game before, so at least he was getting there fitness-wise a little bit. That wee boy, the wee Bobby Flasher, all he does is run. He's quite easily taken out the game. Just give him a 50-50. I mean, send him up in there the way that Miller was sent up in there in one of the games. Just give him it. I'm going to stop because I want to swear.
Don't want you waffling, Al.
No.
It just slips away sometimes. You just go, never mind.
Bridgeman was right. See, when all our guys are fit and they're all proper fit, you'd go out
absolutely, pal. Absolutely. We have got we're a broad church, and there's a lot of folk like certain styles of football and can cope with any type of football as long as they can enjoy themselves and Rangers are winning. But there's their own choices. Some folk do like Wallace and will swear by Wallace, and when Wallace is fit, he's a club captain, he's going to get his game and so on and so forth. I've got no qualms with that, providing he plays better than the likes of young Declan John, who has outshone everyone at that position. So it's for me, it's just preference, isn't it? Just preference.
Sorry.
No, on you go on.
The main reason I went and said that I would love him to be fit more than Murphy, and it's not that Murphy's not played well. Murphy's been great. We've all said it quite a number of times. It's just that in defence we lack pace. And much as Taff can run, and the wee guy can run, none of your centre-halves can run. They're not good at running. If you turn them at all, you're up against it. So I hope they can run, then they can cut inside if they see the danger and help out the centre-halves. Hopefully Goss and anybody else that's playing in midfield will be able to do the same, because we've got no clue what his team's going to be, really. Because I still think he's going to pull a flanker. I think he'll show something different, Mr. Murphy, this game. If Murphy doesn't make it, then we know we've got the wee fella he's on a high into Cummings. Aye, and we know he's no a winger, and neither's that other fella. My Windass, I give you a hard time. They're no wingers, we know that. So they like to start playing the inside role. So I would imagine they would cause that Celtic defence is horrible. I mean, as much as I'm slagging ours, well, I'm not slagging ours, I'm concerned about ours. I'll slag theirs, because I think their defence is absolutely pea. We can get a bit them.
All right,
can I just comment on one?
You go, make it last.
Just a very last comment on this. That one of the comments made the last time we played them was that Mr. Tierney, who's one of their better players, if not their best player according to some, we gave him a hard time. Candias and Tavernier gave him a very, very hard time. He was running, he was blowing out his arse well before full time. So they gave him a hard time.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, young Ibrox.
Yeah.
You wouldn't happen to have did you pick up anything what the starting 11 was behind closed doors?
I know Wallace played, O'Halloran. There was 4 or 5 boys. Let me just tell you exactly who they were. Young Andrew Dallas, Matthew Shields, Aidan Wilson, Jack Thompson. They were all because they were involved in the development squad match. So I believe they were all involved in the bounce match. But as I say, there wasn't much to report on the bounce match. So I only know that the final score was 1 each. O'Halloran scored, and apparently I believe Wallace got close to 90 minutes. I believe that is all I have about that one, because I was more interested in the development side, to be honest. But
carry on, mate. Carry on.
So we were away at Ravenscraig this morning because Ibrox is getting done up partly, and obviously the bounce game was at Auchenheavy. So we won 4-1 against AEK Athens. The starting lineup was Aidan McAdams, Jordan Houston, Kyle Bradley, Louis Mayo, Miles Bierman, Stephen Kerry, who's been captaining the youth side for a number of weeks now. One of Fox's players, he likes to look at young Cammy Palmer, who again had a relatively good game as well today. Jamie Bird-Jonas, Glenn Middleton, Serge Atakai and Zach Rudden. The latter there got a hat-trick. We unfortunately 1-0 down pretty early on because they had a player, a young guy called Giacanis in their team, who was pretty good at some points throughout the game. Their goal started after a good run for the central midfield role and managed to set their goal up. After that, we get a free kick. Serge Atakai crossed it in to Zach Rudden, who got a diving header to get his back on terms. Shortly after the second half had started, so it was obviously 1 each at half time. Shortly after the second half had started, young Zach Rudden got another goal, another work goal through the midfield into young Zach Rudden, who tucked it away pretty nicely. Then after that, Zach Rudden set up our captain, young Kelly, for a good goal. It was a good 1-2 between the two of them, and the latter being young Kelly scored again, so he's on quite a good run. He scored in 3 of the last 5 games, I think, so I think he's on a pretty good game. Then obviously Zach Rudden got his second, he got his hat-trick, with 13 minutes to go for the 4th goal, so it was a 4-1 win. Very impressive. Not just Zach Rudden, Serge Atakai again. Fair play to him. He's done what Mr. Murphy was asking it.
You like that boy, Ibrox, don't you?
Serge Atakai, mate, I think he's going to be very, very impressive. I think we've seen what he can do in the first game in the Florida Cup and I think he only got about 20-25 minutes in the game against Corinthians, mate. But I think he's taken everything on board for Peter Lovenkrantz, and like Mr. Murty was asking him at the beginning of the season, he starts showing it on a more consistent basis, and he's doing that now, so fair play to him as well, and another great win for Rangers development squad.
Good. Can I ask Ibrox a question there?
Yeah, of course you can.
The young boy we got for Norwich, mate, Glenn Middleton, had a real good reputation down in England, mate.
Yeah.
Are you hearing any reports on him, mate?
He's done well, mate. He's done well in the game against Huddersfield where he won 7-0. I think he got his first goal in that game. Today again, he had a nice few shots. He's got a good crossover on him. Not gotten to see his full pace yet, but I believe he's pretty rapid as well. And again, he's another one for maybe, I don't know, next season, but he'll be certainly closer if he's going to do anything next season. He just came in, settling in, but again, another Blue Nose, mate. Really happy to be here. And as I say, it's another good game today, so fair play to the young man. He's come up and did well. So.
He came in a wee bit under the radar. I know he's only a young boy, but at 15-year-old, mate, he was playing in the Norwich under-21 side, and I've been waiting to hear anything about him. You know, he sounds as though he's a real prospect. Young Scottish boy, isn't he?
Aye, young Scottish boy, mate, aye. No, for what I think, he's quite impressive, mate. A bit like, as you say, I think, not saying that he's anywhere near Jack Wilshere, because he doesn't play central midfield, but it's the same sort of idea for him, because Jack Wilshere at the age of 15 was playing for Arsenal's under-21s, and then when he was 16, obviously we know what he done, he got straight into the Arsenal first team, but give this young boy the rest of this season and maybe a majority of next season in the youth development squad, mate, and if he is what everybody thinks he's going to be, then it could be one that we see the back end of next season, maybe.
Is he a winger, mate?
He's a winger, aye. He's maybe a left-sided midfielder. I don't know if he's a Serge Atakai sort of winger. Or
so did they two play in the two wings, mate, in that young side? Or is Atakai in the older age group than Middleton?
No, they're on the same age group, mate. It's just one's came at, young Serge Atakai has been starting for the bench a couple of the games, but he's starting to get back into the starting lineup now again, and doing well, still using his pace and everything else. And I think Middleton's been starting most of the games since he came up for Norwich. So I like to hope Peter Lovenkrantz has got a lot of time for young Middleton, I think, because he, as you say, is the winger type of player as well. So it's looking good, mate. And the young boy Carey Palmer that you like as well, he did a pretty strong game today as well. So fair play to him. Still 16 and doing what he's been asked today. So
thanks for that, Ibrox.
Can I ask a question, Ibrox?
Of course you can, mate.
Cheers, buds. Ibrox, the wee fella Atakai, I remember seeing him in that first game over there in America. He looks like a right wee buzz bum type.
Yeah.
What age is he?
I'll get that right now, mate.
I think he's about 17.
18, I think.
About 17, 18 or something. No, 18 or fine, that's fine. I was just thinking as to Candace. What age is Candace?
29, 30. He's one of our oldest.
Candace is 30, is he not?
He's one of our oldest players.
19, sorry, he's 19, mate. 19.
I was thinking Candace was at 28, so he's older than what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Aye, that wee fella might well take over from him.
Don't be surprised if you see a lot of Serge Atakai as well, because for what I'm hearing as well, for the Finnish side of things, he's pretty close to getting into the first Finnish national team now. He said he's been playing for the under-21s quite a lot recently, so it's another one who Peter Lovenkrantz, I'm talking rubbish here, Jonathan Johansson, has got a lot of time for as well.
He's a strong wee fella, isn't he? From what I saw, aye.
He's pretty tiny, mate, but he's starting to now build into his frame that he's got. It could do well for him. I hope to see him a lot next season. I know I probably won't, and I don't know why, because everybody's got a lot of time for him. And I think it's his time to make the breakthrough is one of the next ones coming up to the development squad. And I've been saying that for a while. I know it's not really happened. I thought it would have happened after the Florida Cup, but just need to see.
Can I ask you something else?
Sure.
See the fellow Wilson, the centre back?
Aidan Wilson, yeah.
I couldn't remember his first name there. Wilson. I noticed when you gave out the side that he was the part of it. Is he now training with the first team like all the time, sort of thing?
I think he is. But he's going back down to the development squad. But today, a lot of them bounced up for the closed door game with St Mirren up at Auchenhowie. So it was still, there you go again. It was a very young development squad again. But it shows you now they're on such a roll like the first team are on that every time they seem to play now, they seem to be winning. Unfortunately, it was a very unlucky defeat to Man United's under 23s rather than under 21s a few weeks ago. They got beat 2-1, unfortunate, but they showed that they can compete with teams like Man United and that, so I'm very happy and excited for the future. So.
It's just that not so long ago, and I was one of them, and I know Blue was, they got Blue, sticking in. The two of us used to slag some of the Rangers youngsters because we were young. Well, I did it more than he did. I used to say they weren't good enough, but right now,
I'm glad you've turned out a new leaf, Al.
We seem to have a good number of guys that are coming, well, they're there or thereabouts, that are really, really good, and it chuffs me no end.
Well, I said to you the other week, mate, young Aidan Wilson played the 2 Scotland under-19 games and captained the side, so fair play to him as well. It looks like the Scottish international scene's starting to take a look at your youngsters because they know they are performing and they're only going to get better as time goes on. So.
Well, Wilson looks one that will definitely play for us.
Can I just butt in for a second there?
No,
I never said anything.
No, say no.
I never said none of the sort of slagging off the young kids.
Sorry,
I think I remember you doing that actually. Anybody else remember him doing that?
No,
yeah, you're right. Aye, Mount, you're right. Yeah.
Put your fishing rod away.
I remember Alan 63 telling me about it, but I don't know how true it was.
Nah, you're right.
Anyway, Ibrox, they've had some fabulous results in these these youth games.
Aye, mate, as I said, they went across to Spain, won all their games there. Went across to Germany, beat Bayern Munich, who the biggest majority of the Bayern Munich team had played for the German under-21s at I believe it was under-21 Euros in the summer. I think Germany actually won that as well, if I'm right. Could be wrong, been wrong before. But no, it's looking good, mate. It's looking good. And now come across here.
Have you got the answer for Big Al's question? How much he's moved on, yeah?
What was that? Oh, the percentage thing?
Aye.
I think there was a difference of 56%.
Well done.
No, nearly right, mate. Nearly right. But...
Oh well. Been wrong before.
Can I just come in there a sec?
Of course, mate.
Ibrox.
Yes, mate.
Is it? I mean, this is the development squad and all the rest of it. Is it not the squad that's underneath that one that's supposed to be the really hot one with the really, really good prospects in it?
Aye, that's the one I'm always talking. The no slagging Ox here because you like slagging with this one. The young boy Dapo Mabuda's in that team.
Who?
Dapo Mabuda. He's another one that's Sergiatic, mate, but he's a striker. And he's like one of the ones when he plays at the youth level under the development squad that he scores like 4 or 5 goals a game.
All right.
He just totally
is this the group that El Fidel though, and even before him, who's the manager at Cardiff? What's his name? Manager at Cardiff, big guy. Oh, it's QPR, Crystal Palace. He's done Sheffield United. What was his name? Come on, somebody hurry up.
Can't even get it.
Neil Warnock.
Neil Warnock.
Neil Warnock was going on about. Is this the name, the 13th? For then, is that the name coming right through now? That was a group.
That's the one, aye.
Right. Okay. All right. Somebody's doing something right at Auchenhowie now. Who put the motions in place where it was Warburton, where it's the boy Mulholland who's just quietly getting about his business and things are improving. Something seems to be going right. Fox.
I think it was Mulholland at first, mate. I think he's another one, a bit like Murty. Graham Murty, of course, looked after a lot of the youngsters as well, mate, but we've got good coaches with them now. We've got people like Kevin Thompson there and that are learning these boys their trade, mate, and I think it's fabulous. I mean, when's the last time clubs for Scotland were getting results against youth away from home, mate, in Europe? Can you think of any? But we're going there with young sides, probably a couple of years younger than some of the players they're playing against, high-profile teams, and we're beating them comfortably, mate. I think it's absolutely great. I just hope that my old heart lasts out for another 5 or 6 years to see all these boys coming through, mate.
Oh, you'll be fine. Only the good die young.
Well, that is a bit of truth in that.
You'll see us all off. Anybody else? Mount Vernon, something's gone right, eh?
It's a fantastic thing, Oxford. I mean, we see some of the fruits of the labour already. You know, young Ross McCrory, even David Bates to an extent. You know, when he first came in, he was he was on the development side, where he was also learning his trade. Some of the prospects we're looking at is fantastic. You know, we've got some of the results the young fellas have been putting in has been great as well. And I think also a bit of credit's got to be said about the setup in terms of, you know, this season. You know, I think Craig Mulholland had also discussed at the start of the season about, you know, the young players having to develop, having to go out and see different aspects of the game, how, you know, different teams, how they play. And I mean, some of the results that the boys have been getting has been unbelievable. And I just can't wait to see some of these young boys, some of these young Blue Noses coming through. And it's great to have, as I said, it's great to have some of the young Blue Noses. You know, the amount of young Blue Noses we have in the team now is brilliant. So, you know, long may it continue, Oxford.
Anybody else want to come in?
Just one more thing, mate. I know Rangers TV's tremendous value for the money they paid for, but I think a lot of the support would like to see these young boys, and I think the more games they put on, mate, the more interest people in these young boys' careers as they move through the ranks, mate. I would like to see more and more of them, you know. I'm going to
say another thing.
What? Go on.
What we have to mention is how it's all funded.
It's
Rangers
funded
Lotto. Get a shot of the Rangers Lotto, because it's the best way to support the club, put money in. One of the best ways. Great thing, and obviously pushing the youth forward and paying for it, and it could reap benefits for the first team, hopefully. Blue Shadow.
Oh, absolutely, mate. You know, it's sort of, it's the Stars thing. Does that not also go to the youths as well?
Yep.
On match day. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if you're at the game, get a couple of stars in. I think I did hear on here you can access the Rangers Youth Lotto online as well.
Indeed.
So if anybody's got the address for that, we could maybe pump that up as well. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to see more of the youth team. You know, I'd love to see the youth side. I've always thought the way forward for Rangers, especially with the income that Scottish football has at the minute, we can't afford to go out spending £4, £5, £6 million on a player, so we've got to develop our own. The only problem we might have is how we keep a hold of them and stop losing them, like to the likes of Chelsea and Man City, who just seem to buy players left, right and centre. And if we get one out of it, then ideal. You know, if not, we'll sell them on for a fortune.
There's quite a few in the call queue. If you're not speaking, you go and mute. We're getting some feedback coming through. If you don't mind, lads. Yeah, Bridgeman, happy with things are going with the youth squad?
Oh yeah, it sounds really good. I take a great interest in listening, particularly to Ibrox Loyal. He's very keen on it and quite knowledgeable too. We used to get Alfred Edo. He used to come on and give us updates and things like that. But Loyal's quite good as well. I'm quite happy with that. Sounds really good. The boy Mulholland seems to be the real deal as far as the youth setup's concerned, and he appears to be running a whole lot. Obviously in line with the director of football as well. I would imagine that's going on. So lots and lots of people taking great care with the youngsters and some of these boys will be big stars for sure as they go forward. Big stars. Well done to them, every one of them. And it's good to see the Rangers name when they win. Now, it doesn't respect what level they're at, but when they're winning, it's great. Rangers need to win.
Can I just say one more thing quickly, which obviously I've never mentioned, but see when the youths are going away and obviously they're rooming with each other and they're actually staying in hotels, like some really good hotels now, when they go away, they always do, when they come back home, get high respect for whether in Germany, Spain, whatever. They always have got top respect for your club, mate. The youngsters, they know where their bread's buttered, mate. They never let the club down, so just a big shout out there to all the youngsters as well, because they are still very young boys and maybe it's their first time away from games or whatever for some of them, but they're showing massive respect to their club, so I thank them for that as well, which a lot of youngsters don't get a lot of thanks for. So
Here. In the last few minutes, I just want to take us back. I think it's only right that we look back at one of the results that sent us on our way in 2008, that being the Werder Bremen home result, when we won 2-0. The second leg's remembered for McGregor's save, but what a result that was, that particular night at home. German teams always hard to beat. We beat Werder Bremen 2-0 in the fourth round of the UEFA Cup. So the team that night was McGregor, Broadfoot, Papac, Quella, Weir, Hindami, Ferguson, Daly, Davis, Kuzan, Adam with substitutes. McCulloch come on in 75th minute, and the goals were scored by Kuzan and Davis. So great result, great victory, and another one that drove us on to that final. Alan 63.
Well, I'm kind of over the moon. You came to myself first because I remember it really well, and I'm just kidding, mate. I've got no idea. My memories are blank.
That's because I can read your mind.
Sorry.
Some good players that team, Ali. Some good players.
Oh, smashing players. Especially that fella Himdani got a hell of a lot of bad stuff at Ibrox.
Played a lot of big games.
I saw him a few times, and European games, it was like different class because it was like he fitted right in. He knew how to get position, take position, pass the ball. I just loved him, European games. I thought he was really good.
And what a season that was. Ultimately, it didn't pan out the way it could have done, but what a season it was. Last word there, one of the last words, Bridgeman. Oh, lost Bridge. Must be a bit of a routine. Big Ulster.
Yeah, it was a good result for us. Werder Bremen, especially at that time and that era, were a very classy side. They were top team in Germany and in Europe. I thought that was a cracking result. Always remember the keeper having an absolute howler for that first goal. Where he sort of
the two goals, mate.
But the two goals, with the Davis one, the second one, but the first one, Fox, if you remember, was calamity. But it worked in our favour. And then we all remember the second, I think it was nail biting. But I think it was Alexander, had a fantastic game that away game. I think it was Alexander. I'm not sure in the memory. But yeah, that was a fantastic result against Werder Bremen 2-0. Top German opposition at the time. Fantastic.
Yep, brilliant. Anyway, we'll move on. Shout outs, and we'll go to Alan 63 first.
Yes, I'm going to say the exact same thing I always say, Mr. Martin. Get them all gelled, get all the good players all playing well together. Let them know early who's playing, and get them all schooled, get them gelling better together. And I think we're going to rip them. Yeah.
Oh, I hope you're right. Ibrox Royal, and thanks for that report, Ibrox. Well done, mate.
Can I just say, absolutely fantastic for the youth development squad to beat a team like AEK Athens 4-1. It's an absolutely fantastic result. And roll on Sunday.
You get that puzzle that Al sent you, Alan?
I know I got anything.
No?
Oh, sorry, the percentage. I went back and checked my figures, mate. Sorry, I think it was 140%.
Spot on, mate, spot on.
He's just saying that, Loyal. He's just saying that.
Big Ulster.
Yes, just shout to everybody who's been listening, and hopefully a few of we'll get some first-time callers this week and give us some of your old firm memories. It'd be good to hear from you.
Pop your cherries, Fox says. Pop your cherry. Yep. Blue Shadow.
Absolutely fantastic to hear about the result for the young lads tonight. Great. Absolutely great. Congratulations to them. I was feeling very confident about the game at the weekend until we got the bad news earlier in the weeks. But regardless of whether Ulster's coming across, come on the Rangers.
Ooh, low blow.
Mount Vernon.
Can I give a big shout out to Mr. Murray and the team? It's all about attitude, guys. Attitude's been right the last 6 games. You keep that attitude right on Sunday, we'll see what happens. Win the Rangers.
Yep. Fox?
I've got to agree with you about callers, mate. That's the last couple of Old Firm games. The station's been kind of quiet in the lead up to Old Firm games where you would expect it to be extremely busy. So, come on, guys, get the phone out and get phoning in between now and the end of the week. Anyway, thanks very much for listening.
Cheers, mate. Bridge?
Yeah, I like to echo everybody's shout-outs. Really and truly, it's been again. It's another really good night. Good discussions about our favourite subject. I really enjoyed it, and it's nice to see some open and honesty about how we're feeling. And Alan 63 led the field there with the way he speaks. So I'm very happy for that. You know, no offence to anyone, but I quite like that. But for me, to all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every one of us. Battle fever is on. I'm very excited. Battle fever's on. Keep it going for the Rangers. Just keep it going.
Here. Can I give a shout out to Travelrock, who's still in a bad way, mate? I've just had some information. He's still not too good. So, Travelrock, get well soon, mate. And hopefully, I hope you're better for the weekend.
Oh, here on that. Here on that, pal.
Here on that, Travel. Get better soon, please.
Yeah, get well soon, Travel. Listen, can I thank everybody that's joined us on the call this evening? Al63, Ibrox Loyal, thanks Ibrox for your report. Bridgeman, Fox, Mount Vernon, Blue Shadow, Big Ulster, and our global ambassador building the skyscraper, Big Al in Australia. This has been Rangers Radio. Thanks to everybody in the lobby for taking part, everybody for listening. We'll be back tomorrow night talking about all things Rangers. Get on that phone and give your views. Take it away, Fox.
I'd been in exile for some years and my eyes filled up with tears when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. So I took a trip along just to hear some famous songs when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. I stood there all alone while the boys all down from home sang of Rangers, that team of great renown. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now on the field below, the boys put on a show, the likes they'd never seen at Molyneux. And it's football, it was grand, from McMillan, Scott and Brand, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now the league flag must come nearer, with men like Bobby Shearer, the way he played at Wolverhampton town. And the world forever after would sing of Jimmy Baxter, for on his head they placed that noble crown. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton Town. Now I knew it had to happen, I heard a mighty roar, the famous Glasgow Rangers they had scored. And the sky was white and blue, Wolverhampton shook right through, the loyal rampant Rangers had come through. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton Town. When the Rangers came to Wolverhampton Town.